what is the difference in scouting Indiana with Caitlin versus without?
Ooh, very different. In fact, our matchups would be very different, even with our bigs. They become, I think the ball movement and the aggression by the other players is substantially more. You know, obviously, Mitchell, everybody just, I think, plays a little bit differently. Maybe plays more like a traditional team where they have a point guard, Ari setting everybody up. I think Caitlin demands a different kind of attention. And so when she's not on the floor, you can shift your attention to some other things, but I do think they're still very difficult to guard because of the movement and the ball movement, probably more than anything. Caitlin tends to kill you in the first 8 to 12 seconds. So you might have to defend a little bit longer. However, their ball gets side to side, they become very difficult.
What for the Aces to play at the pace, is there somebody that needs to bring it, or is it who needs to sprint the floor like to play at the pace you played the last?
Well, everybody needs to sprint the floor. There's no just the guards or just everybody should be sprinting the floor. If somebody's ahead of you and they're open, they should get the ball. Theoretically, that doesn't always happen. However, that's the goal, is that we get those people out running. We get to those corners, and then we kind of have that second wave of attack coming in behind them. So everybody should be sprinting. There should be nobody jogging. But the ball movement is really what can help your pace kick into another gear, throwing it ahead, putting immediate pressure on the rim. And then you go and make your rim decision. But I want everybody in attack mode, and you can put pressure on the rim. You can still be in attack mode by your pace and by the way you cut in space.
Becky, I'm curious, just how much do you go over the last meeting with the team at all, or do you just keep looking forward and kind of looking at what you've been doing as something?
I kept it looking mostly forward. However, there's some things that we had to look at. And I think what's most important is the effort. Be there tonight. What I didn't want them to forget was how they felt afterwards. So I wanted to remind them a little bit of how they felt. Because I know they don't want to feel that way again. I feel like this loss hit them differently. And I also kind of think it was a little bit of a turning point in our season.
Anybody on Zoom with questions, please raise your hand. Callie.
Coach, I just want to ask about Jackie Young. I know Indiana is her hometown, and a lot of people have paid attention to, I guess, the way she's changed off the court this season. She seems more vocal and I don't know, in media and things like that. But I'm wondering, have you seen anything different from her this season, be it on or off the court? Has there been a shift?
I think she's always an evolving leader. I mean, I know she's always led by example, I think, first, with her effort and her attention to detail, her work ethic. She's an incredible professional. But I think she's always working on becoming more vocal. And I think that's always going to be a challenge for her because it's not necessarily natural to her. She's a little more on the quiet side. I'll say quiet side, kinda, because I do know she'll be saying some stuff. But I've been encouraging her from day one since I got here to be more vocal. She sees what's going on. She's got a very high IQ, so use that to help people. There's been a couple times where I've seen, her actually coaching on the floor, which is great because she has a ton of corporate knowledge. She knows all of our stuff. She knows exactly what we're trying to accomplish every trip down the floor, offensively and defensively. So I'm share it with your teammates, especially this year where we've had to do a ton of teaching. There had to be a ton of explanations. If, that extension of myself from her, because she knows and understands me, is super helpful. But I always see her. I've seen her make strides kind of honestly every year. She gets a little bit more vocal and whatnot. But insofar as comments with the media, I have no idea, or, I don't know. I'm not in
Got it.
those.
Got it. And then also was just wondering, obviously she played in the last game and she looked fine, but I know she was like questionable headed into that. Have you had a chance to kind of talk to her and see, like, is she kind of like playing through something, or is she like kind of past whatever was ailing her?
I would say she's playing through a little bit, and as well as getting better. I suspect she'll be a little bit more, uh, less minute or no minute restriction, anything like that going into tonight. But we'll have that communication together and on the court and see where she's at and how she's feeling. But she's a trooper. I know she likes to play here in Indiana, so.
Thank you.
Becky?
Yep.